Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Ta-da! It's December 1st. Do you know what that means, everyone? Do you know what that means? Well, first of all, we got a whole bunch of people in the house. So I just want to greet everybody. There's our friend Sandy, Simply Blessed. We also have Ellen in the house, Catherine Doris, Jocelyn, Alice, Jackie, and Patsy. You're thirsty for Thursday show? I am thirsty for all the things. All the things. And Jackie, you are so sweet. I'm glad you're here. Y'all, it is, has anybody said to you, boy, this year has gone quickly. If they haven't, let me say this to you. Boy, this year has gone quickly. I cannot believe how quickly this year has gone. I mean, it is flying out the door. And here we are in December. We have basically 30 days left. 30 days left. Well, I just want to say this. In 25 days, you are going to be seeing something in your inbox that is going to make you go, whoa, wait a minute. I'm just letting you know what's coming, because what is coming is going to bless your socks off. And I am so excited and stoked about it. Anyway, so I'm just dropping it right there, dropping it where it lands. Yeah, it's been a fast year, Patsy, for sure. It's been a fast year. A couple of things going on. First of all, do you have your Christmas menu? Do you know what you're going to do? We've got Christmas menus. savingdinner.com/Christmas. Now go take a peek-see at that, because everything that we have there is there to light you up and to keep you keep going with the Christmas stuff. So I will also say, just watch your inbox all this month. We have fun stuff that you haven't seen that we're going to be trotting out and that we're going to be getting you going on. So just all I can say, that's what you need to be doing. So, hey there, Debbie, it's good to have you here. I see Jennifer as well. You took your final exam and scored 92%. Excellent. Congratulations to Jennifer. We love it when people, you know what? We all succeed at something, right? We all succeed. Hey, Carol. And the opening sentence that I have for you for today's talk, I hope you write down in your journal, because this is crucial, absolutely crucial. I promise you. Laura Wheeler, where have you been? It is so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. And Jeanette, I didn't say hello to you yet, I don't think. Nice to have you here. And Alice. Anyway, so let's get started. And remember, if you want your menu, go to savingdinner.com/Christmas. And if you want to share that link, feel free to share it, because we are all about making sure that people feel really seen and helped during the holiday season. For a lot of people, it can be really paralyzing. There's a lot to do, and there's so many expectations. You know the drill. I don't have to share it with you. You've done it. But today we're going to be talking about paying attention a little bit to some of the things. I mean, we've talked all this week about this. You've been here, right? You have. Hi, Lisa. There's Lisa. Love those puppies. I'm glad you say that. Because yesterday, we talked about all kinds of things about your negative thought life and about all the things that we are always constantly dealing with and filling, getting that gap filled, and built. And today we're going to go into paying attention to the nuance, paying attention to all the little things. And I love this one so much because this came out of my journal, by the way. So when I share stuff from my journal, this is stuff, this stuff that I've gone through and love to share with. So we are going to bring, I don't know, man, this is kind of a weird looking deal. That's okay. I got my pockets are coming Kleenex and dog poopy bags. Anybody carry these around professionally? I do. All righty, let's get going on this stuff because I think you're gonna really like that. And remember, as we bring TikTok on board, remember you can always, oh my goodness, that is kind of a creepy looking thing. You can always get our newsletter for all the show notes. That's at savingdinner.com. And then the show notes get yours. You get those the next day. And I think they're helpful. That's why we started doing them. Okay, you ready for this? Let's talk about it. First of all, this is the statement that I had written in my journal. You had a purpose before the world had an opinion. And the thing that is so creepy and awful and scary, yes, they are. Yes, ma'am, they are scary. They are empty. She wants to know if my doggy poopy bags are empty. They're empty. Thank God, right? But you had a purpose before the world had an opinion, because haven't you noticed that the world always has an opinion? I'll tell you, if you are in my little stratosphere, and anybody on social media, you've seen this on repeat, and that is people have these opinions that they trot out as if they are the full word of God. And it's just, I'm so ridiculous and silly. But the world's opinion of you and what people think about you really is none of your business or my business or anybody else's business. Let them think what they think. Some people are going to be super low vibe and some people are going to be high vibe, but the high vibe ones are going to be talking about you, by the way, just letting you know. So keep that in mind, because the world does have an opinion of you. There's a whole bunch of people. They've got opinions of you, but you had a purpose. You are here on purpose and for purpose. Therefore, all of this stuff is just nothing. Just let it go, because it has nothing to do with anything. This is why I say it's literally time to pay attention to what it is that you're thinking and who it is that is controlling what it is that you do next. Unless here's something that I really want to bring up too, because this is such a deal. Unless something you hate is worthy of hatred, like Nazis, abusers, inequity, racism, junk food, sugar, addiction, bullying, those kind of things, any kind of ism too, most of the isms. Stop using the word hate and never and can't, especially about yourself. Is this hitting anybody where they live? Anyone? Is it hitting anyone? Because here's the thing, you don't hate your thighs. You do not hate your thighs. These legs of yours help you take a stand. You love them, okay? You love those thighs. You do not hate your thighs. You love them, okay? You don't hate a politician. You hate what that person stands for or what their policies are or whatever. But they are a human just like you, created in the image of God. And we have to keep this in mind when we start throwing hate around so willy-nilly and so simply and so easily. And you don't, if you could never have anything nice, this is something, my mother used to say, I can never have anything nice. That's not true. It's that you've decided you can have anything nice and that nice doesn't have a place in your life. When you keep repeating something over and over again, you're going to keep coming back to the same place of not having what it is that you want. But you've reinforced that in your brain saying, okay, I got you. We can't have anything nice. We're not going to have anything nice. No problem. You hate your thighs? Okay. Let's just keep them looking like this. Let's just keep them like that. Do you see where I'm going with this? We have the ability to reshape our futures simply by reshaping the things that we say and using words carefully. We have to. When we use words carefully, we find out exactly what we're made out of. And can't or won't is a necessarily, we have to look at that. What is can't versus won't? Oftentimes can't and won't are the same thing, and we won't do something because we think we can't, or whatever it is, but we mix those two words up a lot. And what we need to look at is, do we have a growth mentality, or do we have a fixed mentality? In other words, are we open to growing and seeing the possibility, or are we closed down to it and we're just fixed on it's never going to work out? It's not going to work out for me. Life is not working out on my behalf, and I can never have anything nice. You keep going back to that whole thing because that just kind of tells it like it is, right? So I say if we change the way we look at the world, the way we look at ourselves will change. Because when we look at the world as it is supportive for us and we are here to live a meaningful, purposeful life, we're here on purpose and for purpose, we have to start logically connecting the dots to what that all means. And what it means is that therefore you are here to do the work that you have been purposely put on this planet to do. You had a purpose before the world had an opinion. And often what clouds us is the opinion of others and is trying to people please and staying the course with whatever garbage that, the world has in mind for you. I've told you the story about, when I was just starting on Saving Dinner. This is back when it was Menu Mailer. And I had a pastor in my life who said, you shouldn't be doing that. What you should do is this. And just for a split second, did I entertain what he was saying. What he was saying is, you should become an accountant. No, I shouldn't. I should be doing the thing that my heart is warmed to do. I should be doing the thing that I feel called and led to do. I should be doing the thing that fulfills my purpose. And so should every other person on the planet. And then, somebody inevitably comes out of the woodwork to say, well, easy for you to say. And I'm going to just say this. It's never easy to say that. It's never easy to figure it out. But if you have faith in the fact that you had a purpose before the world had an opinion, then you will keep putting one foot in front of the other, one step in front of the other, and allow for that, whatever that is, to come into full bloom. Because it always does. You're open, you're looking, you're searching continuously. That's your reticular activating system in your brain, looking for evidence to support all of this. And it happens. It happens. So what do we have to do to get to that place? I believe we have standards that need to be set. We need to set standards for ourselves. We want to be women of high standards, period. Am I right? Pinky's up on that one. Of course, we want to be women with high standards. And listen, we do this all the time, by the way. We do this all the time. We have a standard of behavior. We have a standard for work. We have a standard for integrity. So when we raise the standard of how we think and how we speak, things start to come together a little bit better. Have you noticed that? Has anybody experienced this? That when you start to say things in a way that expresses possibility instead of shutting things down immediately, that suddenly possibility starts to invade and become a part of your process? Have you seen that? I've seen that over and over and over again. Even in the midst of being really, really discouraged. I will say I've had some very discouraging times. I have. And this is exactly some of the words that I will say sometimes. You know what? I'm working really hard to stay focused on the things I need to stay focused on and not go the place of discouragement, because discouragement isn't going to serve me or my folks or my family or my friends or myself at all. Discouraged doesn't work. Discouraged pushes you down and then you start entertaining all kinds of thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'm unworthy. I can't do this. And all of these words start to come. I hate this. This isn't for me. Do you see how it just, the diminishment? Psh, 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 psh. Shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. You don't have to do that. Set your standards, set higher standards for yourself, because you're worth it. You are worth it, and you're worth it. Okay? 2, when you use words like always and never, use them for food rules if food is a stumbling place for you. Otherwise, they really don't have a place in your vocabulary. I'm going to give you some examples, or any kind of addiction kind of a thing. Okay. Any kind of an addiction. And I'm speaking from my own personal sugar addiction place and what I know from having lived it. Okay. This is it. Um, what you find yourself is that I always start my day with a smoothie. I always break my fast with a smoothie. I always have a bottle of, Crave water going. I always have, and then start, the always stuff is good for that. Another one for me, I never eat sweets. I never eat standard candy. Like I would say standard candy, like, I'm not going to eat M&Ms or whatever. If somebody offers me like a piece of special Godiva something or other, I will have one. That will be my always rule. Do you see where I'm going with all of that? When we do these kind of things, we give ourselves guidelines and we stop the mental fatigue and we stop the internal battery. Because inside we're beating ourselves up constantly. Oh, should I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I, should I? And you're just looking at it and you're, trying not to drool. My dog drools, by the way. Lincoln is just, when you're making his dinner, there is big puddle of drool all over the wood floor, in our kitchen. And I'll tell you what, I look at that dog and I say, I get it, bud. I totally get it. But regardless of the drool factor, you got to make yourself some hard and steadfast rules. And remember that being very, very particular when you're using the always and never rules, because the always and never rules need to apply to things that you have just kind of wibble wabbled all over the place with. Does that make sense? Number 3 is literally pay attention. So here's what I mean by literally paying attention. Make yourself a swear jar. And I'm not talking about swearing, but remember swear jars? You say, oh, damn it. Oh, there goes a quarter. Or another one, you throw in some money for it. Well, use that kind of a swear jar as your bounty jar for negative self-talk or thinking. When you catch yourself, just say, oh, you know what? There I go again. And I'm not doing that anymore. And put money in there and just say, I'm going to bet on myself. And I'm not going to say these words anymore. I'm going to start saying words that are positive. For every negative word I say, I'm going to say 3 positives to kind of obliterate that. It makes all the difference in the world. And when you're putting money down on yourself, and you're betting on yourself is what it is. When you start doing that kind of stuff, yeah, you start to see a little bit of a change because it makes you stand up and pay attention. Okay. Number 4 is to set up your environment. Your environment is the most important thing for success. Put some quotes out that nurture you and that help you and that, give you the things that you need. Give yourself this pep talk that you need every single day. Look at things like, for example, you want to look at things like your journaling, like I said, all the quotes. I have a cup, this quote, I look at this every single day, I have grit, not quit. And it reminds me of that part of my integrity, that part of who I am. And I remind myself, do not quit on yourself. To me, that's the most tragic thing you can do. It's, what it's basically saying to yourself? I don't believe in you. You don't have what it takes. You're just, whatever. And there's a lot attached to that. It's heavy. And I say, never quit on yourself. I say, you know what? You might have knocked down for the 90th time, but get back up because the 91st time is going to be the time that you get it. Can we agree to that? Can we agree that even in the hardest of places, that we don't ever have to quit? We've got things that we can do to set up our environment to support exactly what it is that we want. We can journal every single day and just drop all that garbage out. And sometimes we are dropping garbage out into our journals. Boy, it's the same old thing, but man, we're getting rid of it, right? And sometimes what we're looking at is our vision boards. I've got mine sitting up there looking at me. Sometimes we're looking at things, but it's all things that say you are the best possibility in the world. You bet on yourself. Get together with yourself, because I'm going to tell you right now that your environment is going to support exactly what it is that you want to be. And you are more what you do than what you say. So, you're talking about eating healthy and then you're going right into the refrigerator and, grabbing a carton of ice cream. Whoops. Whoopsie-doo, there goes your integrity, right? So this is all I'm saying is let's just get on board here. Let's see what this is all about. This is going to feed your hungry fire of wanting to be more truly who you are and being purposefully who you're meant to be. Remember, you had a purpose before the world had an opinion, okay? Number 5 is failure is an event. It's not a commentary on your life. You hear me on that, right? I want to say this over and over and over again, because we all have experienced some kind of failure. That doesn't mean you are a failure. It just meant that you had a failure event in your life, and welcome to the human race. Okay? What we need to do is we need to go back. We need to recalibrate. You notice that when you're on with a GPS, recalibrating, recalculating, rerouting you, whatever it is, we got to figure out another way now. I want you to know that, because when I was speaking, I was out on the road speaking a whole lot. I got sick. I got food poisoning. And then the next week I got a serious sinus infection, took a weird medication, first time ever. And it just made me almost pass out on the stage. And then the following week after that, I don't remember what happened, but it was 3 speaking events in a row. And I'd never gotten bad marks on this. I got bad marks on one of my speaking events. I almost fell off my boots. I was so dizzy. And I could barely walk across the stage. That was from some medication that I was taking. But I almost quit on myself. And I said, I can't speak. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I put myself in a teeny tiny corner. And you know what the lesson from it was? That I had a couple of events and they smacked me right in a row. But that didn't say who I was, what my character was about, that my message wasn't good. It just made me pay attention. It made me sit up and say, okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. It just happened. When you have food poisoning and you're laying on the floor in the bathroom for 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to be speaking the next day in a bunch of vomit, by the way. Yeah, gross. But that was me. I didn't make it. So I'm just welcoming you into this whole idea that you must start looking at the fact that failure is an event and you will experience it. And that is not a commentary on who you are. It's a commentary on the event itself, and that is it. Okay? Hold on to that. And number 6, finally, can we re-look at victimhood? Being a victim is really boring. And I know people have been, that's not to say people have not been victimized. They have. Of course they have. I think probably every person on the planet has been victimized at some point or another. It's the choice of choosing to put victimhood on as some kind of mantle, as some kind of like, well, and you always know when you're talking to somebody who is a victim, when they say, well, you think that's bad. And it's always one-upsmanship on their victimhood. But we have to look at it for what it is. It's just blame shifting. And it's just opting out of what your responsibility in life is, because you don't have to, well, because of this happening, I don't have to move on. I don't have to get on with my life. I don't have to do it. When I say we have to accept responsibility wisely, that's what I say. We have to stop looking for excuses and look for solutions. Because when we do that and when we problem solve, you know what happens? You know what happens? We become empowered. We become women who are stepping up to the challenge instead of shrinking back, because victims always shrink back. And when you step into it, you have decided that you're no longer going to put up with victimhood at all. And you don't need to. You don't need to. Just because you've been victimized doesn't mean you now have to accept a role in an identity as a victim. It just means that you know what it feels like. You've been there, you've done that. And now You have the tools to be able to step away from it and to become the woman that you have been called to become. Here on purpose and for purpose, right? You had a purpose before the world had an opinion. And I'm telling you, that is a divine calling on each and every one of your heads. So keep this in mind as you're thinking about all of this stuff. And pay attention. Your words are crucial, especially if you've made a decision to live your life on purpose and for purpose. How's that? I say, let's go for it. So happy Thursday to you all. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. And TikTok, hold on. I've got a couple of questions over here. I'm going to go ahead and get those answered. Take care and peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.